Okay. Oh, give me a second, y'all. I'm just getting myself together. Then we're gonna get into this review. Just making sure I'm doing everything right. Oh yeah, perfect. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another dope movie review. It's your boy King Man. Oh, I'm gonna cut this down. It's your boy King Man. And today we're gonna go into The Quiet Place Day One, and it's gonna be a little different, you know. Only because, to be honest with y'all, with The Quiet Place, I have only been up to date on The Quiet Place probably this week. So for me, it's odd, right? But and shout out to y'all, man, for checking in. This is actually very like surprised. I was not gonna record today. I wasn't really on that, but I was supposed to record with the Geeks at Homies. Got a little technical difficulties. We'll figure it out. But at this juncture, since I got everything set up to record, I'm gonna record. So let me just give y'all a brief synopsis of The Quiet Place. Quiet Place takes place in New York. It is, I don't know what year. Looks like really like summertime because everywhere that it occurs is hot out. Now, this is a trilogy. The first Quiet Place takes place pretty much in the middle of all the chaos, and I'll get to why there's a beginning, middle, and end, and kind of how it plays out. So, because the prequel takes place exactly around the same time as the first one, so or a little bit before, and then they do a flashback in the second movie where you watch the Death Angels, which is just what they're calling them. The aliens, they call them Death Angels. That's all the research I've done, whether it was YouTube channels or whoever. That's pretty much what they always tell you. It is a Death Angel. So the Death Angel, which makes sense, is falling from the sky. It cannot swim. It cannot see, but they have really intense hearing, like really dope hearing. Now, problem with that is also when you have really dope hearing, you you know it can be manipulated. or frequencies and all that, can disturb, you and your hearing. But we'll get into that. So let me start from the beginning. All right. So since we're going to review The Quiet Place Day One, I'm going to stick with Quiet Place Day One. I'm not going to go into the other two movies as much. I was just really trying to give y'all a real good synopsis of kind of what the whole thing is about. But when we look at this particular movie, it starts out, they are in a mental institution, right? And, well, not a mental institution, I'm sorry, I'll take it back. They're in a hospice facility. Main character, Lupita Nyong'o, whatever, y'all know her name. Lupita has cancer. Spoiler alert, she has cancer. That's why she's bald in this movie. Not just because she's African. But her diagnosis leaves her with very little time. So they decide they want to go to New York from upstate, and she wants to grab some pizza. Now, I know people who are in hospice care or they've been in hospice care. I don't know people who are in hospice care that still have like a residence. And that was the only thing about this movie that kind of threw me off, was like her goal in this movie was to get home from the hospice facility to get to this pizza place. Because, she that was the only way that she was going to leave the hospice facility before it was her time. Like in her mind, she was set, ready to go. But when they brought up the fact of going to the city, she wasn't really encouraged. But once they offered pizza, she was with the shits, basically. So now they get on this bus. It's them, and it's hospice care. So it's a bunch of older people. I don't know. It might have been a couple younger faces in there, but I'm sure all are sick or ill or on their way to death anyway. So now we got to get to the part where everything goes crazy, because the guy told them that they were going down there for a show. He didn't say what kind of show. They get down there. It's a puppet show. Marionettes. Really, something dope. Something that you would probably see in New York. You know what I mean? Shout out to New York. We just came back from there, what was that, the beginning of May, and it was so different that I could actually see that. I could see that being a thing. Like you having a marionette show in the middle of Times Square in some old theater that nobody ever goes to anymore. They definitely might have something like that going on. But for me, I looked at it in a way of like, okay, it's being artistic, it's kind of being dramatic. Not that they're wasting time, but they're kind of giving you the gist of these people don't have that type of energy anymore. So yeah, we're gonna go all the way to New York. Yeah, we're just gonna see a marionette show. Maybe grab some pizza and get up out of here. But in the middle of the show, alarms start going off, horns, everything, like it's going crazy. But even then, there's other aspects of the movie that show you, it's stuff that you need to watch out for and you need to pay attention to. And so, like, what was crazy to me was that in the middle of all of this stuff, like the main character, she just was fixated on getting to Harlem to get some pizza. And like as a concerned citizen myself, like I personally feel like when you start seeing jets flying overhead and police sirens and people rushing and stuff, and then the main guy was telling her, who was her nurse, but he was also her friend. And let me see who he was played by, because that was the thing. Like, it was a really good actor, and I remember him from Old, but the way he was looking, I couldn't recognize him. Like, he was the young son in Old who got the girl pregnant. If you ain't watched that movie, go watch Old. Old is thrilling, but it's really good. Alex Wolff. So her nurse was played by Alex Wolff. He comes to her very just a Bobby level. Like, we need to go. Like, she's like, well, we still gotta get pizza because you promised it. He like, girl, they telling me I gotta get y'all back. So regardless of what you think, we gotta get back. So now she's upset, right? She's upset, and it's funny because she went from kind of glee and like happy to be back in the city and not really, upset at life, but now she's just like, taken out. But all of when this is going on, it's chaos in the streets. Like, it's not explosions and wild chaos. But it's cars, like police cars, ambulances, fire trucks, wailing through the city. So now, let's just be clear. You are in New York, you know, you're sick, you don't feel good. Why would you be thinking about pizza, whatever, right? You think you shouldn't even be thinking about food. You should really be thinking about something else. Now, I get it. Towards the end of the movie, they really explain the significance and the importance of her getting to this pizza place because it wasn't just a pizza place. What it was her dad used to play jazz, and her dad would take her to the pizza place after the fact. So now you gotta think when all this stuff occurs, it throws everything off whack. And because she doesn't know how serious things got, that's why she had a little attitude. So now fast forward, we go into when the Death Angels arrive. They really hit like a meteor strike, like everywhere. Things is blowing up. Nobody could hear anything, and I feel like that was part of their attack. It was like if we hit y'all, you know what I'm saying, real quick, right? And y'all don't really have an opportunity to match our, whatever we got going on, then I really believe at that point, we gonna catch y'all slipping, and ain't nothing y'all can do. And that's really kind of how it happened. Like they really caught them slipping. They really, put panic in the air, so it kind of made people have to speak up, and that's when they got you. So if you ever watch the other two, like I said, I'm not gonna recap them. You understand quiet places is living. Like you have to be quiet. Like your stomach gurgle in the wrong place. They on your boots. And really what it is the absence of the background noise. Like if you have any background noise not available, they on your boots. So you can't make no noise. Now, it's New York City. I don't know if any major city you'll be able to shut everybody up. So just imagine this, right? New York has millions of people. At least half died out the gate. Out the gate. I mean, dead. So now, you gotta understand, okay, everything's going crazy. People are getting killed. The military, in their wisdom, they decide, look, what we're gonna do is we're gonna fly these helicopters and we're gonna give a message out to the world. Like so, like me, you, we in our house, or we in an alley hiding, or we in our car being quiet. This helicopter's flying over the top of us, creating all this noise. What y'all think gonna happen? They got herds of these damn things following people. I mean, running up on people, all because they're helicopters. So that was like a thing. That was like a creepy part of it. That was dope. But then again, it was like, okay, hurry up and get to safety. They hurry up and get to safety. Um, but it gives everybody like the feeling of what it's like. Like if you make a sound, step on glass, these things is jumping out of buildings. They hear it. They're there. So you have to be ridiculously quiet. Um, and I think like that was probably, for me, the first time I seen it in that aspect because the first and second movie, they already knew what they had to do. Like it starts off with the emphasis on quiet, but it just does it in a more tragic way so that you feel more attached to the characters. In this way, I feel like the movie puts you in the seat, so now like, hey, this is what will happen if you make a sound. So y'all, let me do something real quick. All right. So where are we at? So now they're landing. They blew up stuff. Everybody's hiding in the theater. Like basically, the bus wasn't parked in front of the theater. They hide in the theater. They're waiting. They're trying to see what's going on. The helicopters told them, you know, pretty much wait. And then after they waited for so long, the helicopters came back and told them, come on to the water. The things can't swim. We gonna get some boats together. We gonna get y'all up out here. So, and if you've seen the second movie, you know that it was 12 boats, right? 12 boats. How many make it away? I don't know. That was one thing about this movie. Weren't very descriptive on the damage that was done, but you could tell the death and dismemberment was everywhere. And I think I equate that to them rating this a PG-13 movie. So, you know what I mean? Like, I get now why Deadpool wanted rated R. Why certain movies want PG-13 because they know that you get more masses, more ticket sales. But then you got certain movies that just make more sense when it's gory. And this movie would have made sense if it was gory. Not taking away from it, not saying, oh man, this was a bad movie, but just saying, if it was gorier, it would have been a lot better, a lot more energy, a lot more, just more Cloverfield. Well, actually, even then, I kind of equate this to a Cloverfield type movie where it was death, but it wasn't death. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are dying, but you don't see it. So I I get it. It's a business move, very smart. I just wouldn't have done it, but that's me. So with that being said, I also look at this as like they did an opportunity. So you got an opportunity to tell a story. You got an opportunity to move the people, especially people who aren't familiar with um, the whole Quiet Place like saga. But yeah, you definitely give them so much more to look forward to. Like I can rock with you on that. But what I can't rock with is just the feeling that this movie missed out on opportunities to be bigger than what it was. Because like to be honest with you, that was the problem. It just could have been bigger than what it was. They used star power. They have really good, really great cast. The acting is amazing, especially when she meets. So they have a supporting character, and the supporting character, I mean, it's played by Joseph Quinn. Joseph Quinn. If y'all remember, he was the little brother in Get Out, the one who was crazy with the Mustang who kidnapped the main character. So he plays a great crazy dude. Like when I say he plays a great crazy dude, I believe he has some serious mental illnesses, but I also believe he has put them things to work to give off a character who is halfway on deck and halfway off. Because his whole thing, I felt like, was he was having anxiety and panic attacks. And by meeting Lupita's character, she calmed him down instantly. Like he gravitated to her. She has a cat. The cat helped him in a big, and I think that's what it was. It's like the emotional support that he got from her, not even knowing her, was big for him. Just like she got the emotional support from the cat, who the cat treated her the way she treated him. If that makes sense. So like the cat would be very dismissive and on their own, but very loving and caring. She would be very dismissive, I'm on my own, but very loving to the guy, very caring. And I think that was the symbolism that they were trying to portray, which they did. They got it across very dope. And I mean, I give this movie a 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5. At least 4.5 out of 5. The only thing they could have done was made it a little bit more gory because they had blood, but it was smeared against the walls, or it'd be like, somebody you could tell was attacked. And that was another thing. The aliens don't eat people. The aliens are just here to beat everybody up and go to sleep. So they killing people, they knocking them the fuck out, but they going to sleep afterwards. And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that was the thing about it. Like if you were in a place where your whole objective was to come and destroy, you probably don't need to gorge on people. You probably can eat people when you want to, because you're killing millions of them and they just laying around. So it wasn't even like a emphasis on like, oh, they wanted fresh humans or they wanted to test on you. No, you made a noise, they just wanted quiet. They wanted you to shut up. So I get it. To me, they just remind me of parents. Like, you ever make a lot of noise late at night, your parents come in just going crazy? That's pretty much what the Death Angel is. This is just, I mean, It didn't trigger any trauma for me, but I definitely understood. Like, man, shut up. Y'all talking too much. Shut up, making too much noise. But even then, man, like, and it's not really spoiling anything because I feel like it was so many other things in the movie where I'm just giving y'all pretty much the basics, like probably what you saw in the trailer anyway. But it was that like he was. I mean, they created a relationship, a dependent relationship, and at the end, I think it was empowerment of both growing out of like her obsessive need to be alone and depressed. He conquered that for her by being that person she saw she didn't want to be. Like, he saw her as someone he didn't want to be, but he didn't want to let her go because who would want to have stage four cancer, dying in pain, whatever, and he would do whatever to help her. And she saw his anxiety and lack of confidence and everything that she had. She just wanted to comfort him to basically let him know, hey man, life is bigger, so chill out, don't trip. But I mean, if you wrap everything up, besides the other dynamics of the other characters and how those things lead, because they did have certain moments where the the secondary characters who are in the other Quiet Place movies, they kind of gave dialogue to connect both, and I thought that was dope. Especially considering, like I said, I just watched these movies in 1 week. Like I never watched The Quiet Place all the way through. I never watched the second one because I never watched the first one all the way through. So for me, it was like, bro, y'all have to connect these things somehow, and they did. They did a great job at it too. So I really wasn't tripping about that. The only thing I feel like they could have did better, like I said, was a little bit more action, a little bit more gore. The action was dope that they did have, but it could have had a little bit more gore, considering the monsters were being so vicious and so like tearing up shit, like they were destroying shit. So I think maybe for the next one, if it is the next one, I think that's what they should do. If they make a four or a spinoff, because I think watching the third one, and it's just getting into it a little bit, they could do a spinoff where they attack, where the humans try to come back and try to fight for our planet. I would like to see that. I would like to see it. I would like to see the dynamic of all the people who survived kind of collaborate together, because I think the timelines match up to where it's all about the same time. Like the first movie might be around the same time as the end of this movie because they talk about the boats in the second movie, which is months after the first movie. Because in the first movie, the mother of the family that it covers is pregnant, and in the second movie, it's a baby. So in those couple months, little baby too. Those few months, I'm sure that was covered. The beginning was covered here, and it was like right after the crack, like after they arrived. So I could see that part. I could see a family struggling, not really understanding everything that's going on. That they just got to keep things quiet, and the kids don't understand, and then tragedy happens. Blah blah blah. All in that first few weeks after the aliens drop. So that's where we are. Now, let's just be clear. It's a quiet movie, man. This movie, you gotta have took a nap to go see this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even gonna hate on it and say like, oh, bro, I was falling asleep. I wasn't. Only because I watched the other two and I had to. It took me a long time to even get to those other two because I watched them, not in a movie theater. But just because it's so quiet and you gotta pay attention, you gotta really be looking. They have so many, like sign language and like just visual quote, like things that you see visually that if you're not paying attention, you're gonna miss it. And it's at least 80% of the movie. Like dialogue is very short. I would love to be an extra or an actor on this movie. So if y'all ever need a black guy with long dreads and a scolding like a scowl face, I'm your guy. But I also don't want to get beat up or knocked out or killed or bitten by alien. You know, the Death Angel was pretty vicious. I don't want no parts of that. But if you need me, you know where to find me. King Media Group. Come holler at me. I'll shoot you the email. But anywho, that's my review on the Quiet Place Day One. I really recommend it. I would say go see it. I would say to watch them in order. Um, Go watch Day One, then one and two, and then let me know. You tell me what you think because, like I said, I want to know if people want to see more. Like I feel like with our few series that we have been getting in the past 15 years, they're moving past trilogies. It's not the rule anymore. You don't just have to have three movies and then kill a character off and call it a day. I think we could do this. You know what I mean? Like that for the real is that we could do that. We could they could make a fourth one. They could make it a different family. They could make it like I say, fighting aliens. There's so many avenues, like so many ways they could go with that. But I do want to see it. And if I don't, whatever. Like I said, this is not one of those series that I'm just like I'm die hard. Like I need it. Like it's not like Marvel where okay, the end of this so-called franchise, they're gonna have some big reveal, and the aliens were really humans, and they're just traveling back in the future to do. Nope, none of that. Like, I doubt any of that happens. But I would like to see more backstory of where they came from, or also if they're defeated. Because like I said, in three they allude to it, but we don't know. Oh man. Oh, it's not okay. All right, y'all. Well, look, man, I appreciate y'all. Oh shit, that's dope. I could have just did this the whole time. That's dope. Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all check in with me, man. Tap in with me again, bro, on the next one. Like I said, if y'all got a chance, man, go check out the Geek Set Podcast YouTube channel where we drop a lot of footage. Also, matter of fact, let me throw that in real quick. So, my goal will be to stream at least 5 times a week. And I want to do this. I want encouragement. I want help. But also with this, I want y'all to go check out the Black Geek documentary trailer that's on the Geek Set Podcast's YouTube channel, and go check out the episodes on the Sways universe where we covering the House of Dragons as well as the Boys. So, like I said, I was supposed to be doing it today. Had some technical difficulties. I couldn't make it. So today I'm gonna give y'all my review on The Quiet Place Day One, which, like I said, is a dope movie. But y'all get a chance, man. Please go check out the trailer at the at the Geek Set Podcast YouTube channel. As well, we're doing a Kickstarter. So the Kickstarter is in the link on my Instagram, Kingpin414. Sorry. This is going to be in the link in the Black Geek Documentary Instagram. You can go find that page on my page at Kingpin414. And just, if you get a chance, man, go check it out. See if you want to become a backer. We're looking for people to really help us finish out the documentary. We're in the last leg. We just got to do our finishing touches, go out to LA, get some interviews, really put in the necessary work like we did on the East Coast and down South. So we really just want to finish this out. We really need y'all support. We appreciate the help. So if y'all got an opportunity, just $25. And like I said, we're just trying to get it done, but we would appreciate all the support we can. Again, it's a Kickstarter, the Black Geek documentary, created by Geek Set. And, it's a vibe. It's dope. You know what I'm saying? It's something for the culture. It's something to display what it is to be a black geek in all facets of life, no matter where you are. So if you want to be a supporter, please, it would be much appreciated. Go check that out. The link will be all over, either on my Facebook at MJ King Pinister, my Instagram, Kingpin0414. Again, like I said, you can go through that to go to there. Or you can go on X, aka Twitter, Kingpin414. The links will be there. Or you go check out, again, Geek Set Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, or the Black Geek documentary. I believe it's on Twitter and Instagram. So, with that being said, we're going to head out for this evening. But thank y'all, man, for checking me out. Please like and subscribe, to the channel, King Media Group. So like I said, I'm gonna try to stream at least 5 times. You know what? I might just stream every day because I might just go ahead and hook it up. Oh, I might just go ahead and hook it up and just do what I gotta do. This is recording. I didn't even know my shit was recording. But anywho, till next time, y'all. Peace.